And we are live.
Where's our intro? Good evening. Welcome to the Your Ass Hurts News Network. Coming to you live from the tip top of Cock Tower Square with your host, Sergeant Friday. Sarge, good evening.
Good evening, Cletus. Today is a incredible day. We start the evening with an announcement that's just mind-boggling. It's something we've all hoped for. Sadly, something all the YouTubers missed. More on that a little bit later. I understand you had been part of a stream earlier, and there's been some action by YouTubers that may have contributed to some of the news we're going to share later. Cletus?
Yes, sir. Yeah. Apparently, there are private investigators that are sharing their private investigating results with these YouTube streets for the benefit of finding Sebastian, of course.
So we have people finally concentrated on the issue at hand. Is it safe to say that these people have found in their hearts not to be tragic witch hunting cunts and have let the issue of Chris and whatever he may have done in his past go?
Oh, of course.
Have we reached that place yet?
No, not yet. And I kind of doubt we ever will at the rate we're going.
What do you think, Liz? Do you think this is due mainly to the fact that public opinion and the public at large, the 5.62 billion fucking morons on the internet, are incapable of turning a corner, or is it the streamers are just too ignorant to count clicks and justify their ignorant and assholish behavior for those clicks?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, I think it's hard to break an addict of a drug when you're shaking the fucking drug in their face all day, right?
But we have breaking news. This you'll hear only on the Your Ass Hurts News Network. Sebastian Rogers has been found, and he's been found in the hearts of the parents, the friends, and the family. A place none of the YouTubers chose to look. As a matter of fact, the very place YouTubers dare to jab a stake through and poke arrows through and attack. Cletus?
It's a damn shame, Sarge. It's a damn shame.
It's a damn shame.
Hiding the entire time at the target or within the targets that everybody has chosen to attack. Isn't that something?
The one place we can rest assured Sebastian Rogers will always be, regardless of the outcome in this case, will be in the hearts of the parents.
Absolutely.
And for some reason, you streamers, you T-Revs, you scum-sucking, ass-licking shitbags found it within your hearts to create a tragedy within a tragedy, and you have no fucking ability to shut the fuck up and go outside and look for the boy. You'd rather sit on the internet and attack the parent or parents. Cletus?
Well, as they say, pimping ain't easy. And there's a lot of tragedy. So,
Yeah, it's not tragic enough a young man goes missing under mysterious circumstances. Those mysterious circumstances, somehow you psychic fucks turn into predictions that never come out to be true. And you run around like you know what you know, and you don't know a goddamn thing. What you should know is that you're a bunch of fucking uncouth, witch-hunting morons. And if you knew that, you probably wouldn't do that. Cletus.
Yeah. And, I the one credit I will give is that, occasionally there is a viewer comment that some of these click-sucking assholes out here decide is pertinent to the case. Like, why CP may be mad because of past relationships with whoever the fuck, because that's really beneficial to finding Sebastian. and these fucking people put it up on the screen for the world to see, and the world includes Sebastian. And it's it's
Well,
amazing.
I do want to give credit to the Your Ass Hurts News Network, and the credit goes to all the people that have supported and made this possible, and that realizing the one place Sebastian is the one place we shouldn't be attacking. Cletus?
Agreed.
That's my favorite part of the show, turning it over to you.
Yeah, I know. And interrupted my train of thought too. That's
Well,
your
yeah, but your train of
favorite
thought
part.
is more like the caboose of the train anyway. I wouldn't worry about it.
That train fucking fell off the tracks a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. Well, your train has been trained, if you know what I mean. So it's probably a little tired.
Its ass hurts.
And that's why I'm pointing out that you might be the caboose there, ass hurts.
Yeah, I may be the caboose.
You know, we're the little train that could, but woulda and shoulda. But we got mixed up with all these unbelievable this last few days over the weekend, and what the viewer has dug their teeth into and become satiated with this drama and the hate and the anger that they want to blame the parents of having, which is just mind-boggling to me.
Well, and then you get into scenarios where, you know, you have shit shows like what occurred last night, where you actually have one of the labeled private investigators involved in the case on a panel to ask questions, and all you cannot fucking help yourself but to ask about the shit that is 100% part of the drama.
Well, you know, as someone that's on the spectrum myself, and someone that lived this, you know, that they're pretty strong. I don't know the young man, but I was out and homeless at 14. I'm on the spectrum of the autism spectrum, and I do have like common ground or commonality with the young man, and I get a kick out of how people treat, act, think, and feel about what autism really is. We have breaking news, Cletus. It's come to this announcer's attention that the autistic spectrum is generated from the male side of all families. And sadly, the YouTube presenter has no concept that Seth Rogers himself is not only on the spectrum, but does things on the spectrum that mimic exactly the kinds of things I do when it comes to focusing on things and not being able to let things go and coming back to the same thing over and over again. And nobody treats him or understands or sees that. Instead, they feed that. And in feeding that, they've caused conflict between the three parents of this young boy that may never be repairable. Cletus?
So are you suggesting that these click suckers have found their tragedy gold mine?
They're taking advantage of a man that's on the spectrum, a man that should have somebody with some common sense pointing out to him, I understand your anger and frustration, but let's not take it out on one another. And there isn't a single responsible fucking person broadcasting about this that gives him the recognition. There's no shame. There's no, I'm less than because I'm on the spectrum and I have an autistic fucking issue. Right? Most of us are smarter than all of us. But when it comes to certain things, there are fucking problems that we have. And one of them is not letting go. And I understand that this gentleman is hurting. I understand that he had issues when he was married and when he was divorced and all of the chaos that goes on around there. But providers and people that are dealing with people that are autistic should be educated to know that. And they should help guide this gentleman to a better fucking road. A road that doesn't continue to bring up people like Nina and look to attack and demean and blame people that have no basis to be blamed. None in fact. In emotion, sure. But in fact, no. And it should be the responsibility of the channel to make sure that this shit doesn't go off the rails and down the same road. We hate Chris of that. And there's no way to say he's not. And he needs to be politely set to the side and asked to stop.
Well, and that's where what I was getting to a while ago, right? Is it the viewer or is it the creator? And in a situation like this, I think it's 100% both, because the viewer is coming to YouTube because it's an interactive form of television, and the creator is completely sidestepping the reality of the situation, that there is a missing child. They'll mention it, but more of the show is about the drama that can be created by cashing in on the gold mine of the guy that obviously is hung up on things and that is willing to come and speak about them, and just, it had the same things over and over and over again,
Well,
about the drama and the bullshit.
I want to bring up, I only brought up the spectrum issue because everybody out here, y'all think you're so fucking smart. Y'all think you know what autism is. Y'all think that you got some fucking way of dealing with people like me that are autistic, and you don't have the first fucking clue how to deal with people like us. Let me tell you, first and fucking foremost, is always treat us as equals and treat us just like you would anybody else. And the best thing you can do, if if you care at all, is when we wander, drag us back onto the path. Don't let us get off that path and walk in fucking circles, man. But yet, here's what all these providers are doing. They're turning this guy into a big ass circle jerk, recirculating the same stories, making the same attacks, and trying to add or subtract to make them look worse and worse. It's incredible what they're walking this guy through. And believe me when I tell you, they're as responsible for it as he is. He's got an explanation. I can completely 100% relate to what Seth is dealing with and doing. I myself have done that. It's taken years. I mean, do you honestly think that immediately after my divorce, I didn't blame my ex-wife for everything? Of course I did. As time went on, I realized it's a shared fucking problem. Nobody did more than anybody else in the eyes of each person involved. Whatever I did, she felt as offended and disparaged as whatever she did to me, regardless of which person did something bigger or smaller. Right? Come on, we're all supposed to be fucking adults. You people are supposed to be fucking normal. Some guy with autism like me shouldn't be able to fucking figure that out to tell you. You fucking viewers are supposed to be the normies. I'm supposed to be the fucking whacked out one wearing a helmet, licking windows. No.
So are you suggesting that the proper method of helping this gentleman is not to bring him onto social media and make sure you ask questions that, strike the nerves, that get him fucking going down the drama road?
Pushing his fucking buttons. The guy's trapped in a fucking loop. You guys don't understand. When I sit down and start working on gravity and the theories that have been presented by fucking renowned scientists and start punching fucking holes in them, I could do that for days until something interrupts me. And when I deal with pain, okay, and people betraying me and I feel betrayed, I can get stuck in that fucking hole forever. Forever. Fortunately, events in my life have given me I can see it and recognize it. If he could see it and recognize it, he would also have the same ability as I have to pull himself out of it. I mean, but look, you guys see how I am about you viewers. I think you're all a bunch of fucking scumbags. Ain't nothing normie about any of you. Well, not all of you, but of the 5.62 billion, 5.6 billion of you fucks. Okay? You wouldn't act like this face to face with people. And yet you get on the internet and you're autism experts, you're experts, you get face recognition. If I could solve the fucking crime from my cell phone. I mean, my God, did the fucking insane asylums close to just dump you people on the internet? Where do you come from? Please?
Well, maybe the asylums gave them all a keyboard and internet access.
They kicked them out with a fucking smartphone.
Give them a smartphone so they could jump on the internet and show their stupidity. Is that what you're saying? I think that's what you're saying.
I find it's a tragedy that need not be part. The boy is missing. He's still missing. And it's just the most incredible thing I've ever seen. And it's so sad. And I hear this has happened more than just on this case. This has happened in other places where children have gone missing.
Oh yeah. And that's another thing that I've seen with this is immediately the comparisons to prior cases started being made. And I get that in some ways, right? I get looking at history and saying, is it repeating itself just like it did in that case or this case over here? But then to come and find the similarities and then capitalize on those, right? Like the whole thing about the big day Sebastian had. Well, the only reason anybody's making an issue out of that is because they find that similarity with another case where a child was actually murdered. And so instead of seeing that there is a similarity that exists there and then trying to look further into that, the first thing everybody does is runs to the fucking social media streets and says, hey, this is what happened. Look, it's right here in front of us. This has to be it because it's happened before. Fuck everything else around it. This similarity exists, which means they must be the same situation.
Yeah, I am flabbergasted. And for all those that know, I mean it when I say that the fucking YouTubers found fucking Sebastian, and they've been kicking where the only place it could possibly be at this moment, and they're kicking and trying to beat it down, and analyze it and accuse. I mean, it's just fucking sickening. T Rev is what did T Rev say about not giving evil a microphone?
Yep.
And that piece of shit hands evil microphone every fucking time he talks into one.
Yep.
How about JLR? Same thing. How about that lady that tried to do the interview? What were there 3 ladies trying to have a conversation with Chris last night?
Yep.
And they just couldn't help but attack the guy.
Right.
Now he was accused directly by Seth.
His parents were accused. Well, actually, I guess it was Katie and his parents were accused by Seth of, I think it went something to the effect of, so Katie giving Sebastian to your parents is still on the table. And when confronted about that, he had to, crawdad and say it a different way where it was less assholish to put out on the fucking internet. But it still was something at that point where you have two professionals up there in the capacity of being professional investigators. And instead of stopping the shit show before it kept rolling, they couldn't wipe the fucking drool out of their mouth in time to unmute and say stop. So they let him continue with the rumor mill. Because they're all sitting there drooling, going, yes, please say this so I can get some notoriety for being on this panel where the fucking drama continues. And it's disgusting. Now we have people in professional capacities hired, statedly hired by one side of the parents in this situation, contributing to the fucking drama.
Here's that piece of shit private investigator. And let me just tell you, I wouldn't fuck her with your dick, okay? Coming out here playing to the emotions and the tragedy in this guy's life to get close to this guy, to come out and use those as fucking means to attack somebody that wasn't even in the same city as the boy that went missing. And it doesn't make no sense. That's a professional private investigator. I wouldn't let that woman investigate my hurt finger, which, by the way, I think is caused from fucking YouTube users gave me gout or something in my fucking ring finger.
How is your finger, Sarge?
Well, it still aches, but nothing. I can move it now. All the knuckles move again.
Oh, well, that's good.
And my ass doesn't hurt. So I don't know what's going on over there. The reason it's Your Ass Hurts News Network is because all you people have got your head stuck up there. That's why you rarely ever hear me tell people to go fuck themselves, because there ain't no room for that.
I figure it's, I always thought it was because you either come in here because your ass hurts or you leave with your ass hurting.
I hope all of that applies, Cletus.
Yeah, that's a fair statement. I can't disagree with that.
So another weekend, another tens and tens of thousands of people, right?
Yeah.
Playing with their fucking genitals over this bullshit, and not a one of them doing anything to find the boy.
No, and that's another thing that I've just got to point out in the midst of this fucking charade of shit show and that was going on last night, the very clear and direct message of how to help was given and provided by what social media has deemed the Antichrist, Chris Proudfoot. And instead of supporting that statement as a unified front amongst the people on the panel who want to state that they're there to help, they interject themselves again to cloud what he had said is the right way to help by casting doubt on whether you should or shouldn't submit tips and confuse the entire thing that he said. And it's like at the end of the day, that is proof that YouTube is not the place to come to find a missing child.
No,
Social
as a matter
media
of
is
fact,
not the place to come to find a missing child. Social media is not the place to come to investigate a
but it
missing
will
child
be.
publicly.
It's gonna be. If I gotta slap all 5.62 billion of you, it's gonna be the place to come. We're gonna change this fucking system. This is gonna change. You fucking loser fucking creators, including Harsh and many others like that, that push and stir the bullshit pot to get clicks and earn a fucking income, are gonna cut it the fuck out, or you're gonna voluntarily walk away from YouTube because the viewer is no longer gonna accept that. This has got to stop.
And the day
It's
that happens,
fucking filthy.
the day that happens, the caption at the top of the screen will change from "your ass hurts" to "your ass healed."
Yeah. Unbelievable, man. All of these people, click. You know, listen, I could never ever be comfortable earning an income off of creating or jumping onto the gravy train of tragedy that's being heaped upon the families involved here. And let me just say this. This is why I brought up him being on the spectrum as well. You're hurting Seth as much as you're hurting Chris and Katie. You fucking people just don't get it. It's almost as if you don't have a clue of what's right and wrong. You don't seem to understand that all the things we do online do impact the real fucking world. And not one of you creators, not one of you viewers that are jumping on Seth's team understand you're hurting Seth. You're hurting the likelihood of finding this child. You're creating so much chaos and confusion and disruption in these families' lives that it's unimaginable. And you can't blame Seth. Blame your fucking selves. You know, Seth lit a match and you motherfuckers ran over there with gasoline. That's what's happened here. And you guys keep running back for more and more gasoline, and you all need a good fucking slap. Latest?
No, I mean, I do think it's, the best advice that I've heard him publicly receive was given to him last night. And it was just 3 simple words: Seth, shut up.
Right.
And it's, it can be taken as rude, it can be taken as cold, but you cannot fucking dispute the merit in that statement.
Dude, he could be taking that truck, taking that money, putting the fucking sign on the roof of the truck and parking on the side of the fucking highways or byways and just letting people see a picture of his missing kid.
Yeah.
Right? We could say that they went after the Proudfoots. They should have went to some rally or something. I'm thinking I wouldn't want to go anywhere near a rally where any YouTubers could be involved. I mean, come on, that's like going down on the hood with a briefcase full of cash and it's made out of fucking plexiglass. Look at that, I got a clear fucking briefcase full of $100 bills. I'm gonna walk around the fucking hood. That's basically the situation you people have set up for the Proud Feet. All these fucking streamers. I wish I'd have kept that list. But these T-Revs and who's the other guy that decided he's going to go to Substack? Yeah, Substack.
Oh,
he's got a Substack up his
Trev
ass.
Trev time. Right? The wandering eye. The wandering PI.
Yeah, there's a guy. He's got fucking... I thought I only bought one hamburger. You fucking idiot. My God. He goes to bite out of his burger. He bites his wrist. But that's neither here nor there. What about those women last night? And all of these other list of people, that fucking that Terry Lynn, and all of these other fucking chaos loving drama fucking pushers. They're the ones running around with gas cans.
Yeah, and it's, I saw one today, that fucking Smiley. She fucking had what I have no reason to doubt was reported as a fake ass cop on panel. And as soon as he jumps up, the first thing he wants to say, Chris is showing signs of guilt. And, fucking 600-700 people just, yeah, burn him, sharpen the pitchforks.
So someone's asking, why does the title of this live say what it says? Because I'm hoping to attract you fucking, y'all need to be spat on fucking viewers. Okay? Coming in to see that your hate produced a result. That's why it says what it says. Breaking, Sebastian Rogers found by YouTubers. You people couldn't find your ass with both hands in a brightly lit room. surrounded by mirrors with help.
Well, and I don't know why anybody would be upset about a click-sucking title, considering that's what you can go look at the number of views on all of the click-sucking titles, and they always do well. So is it that somebody would be upset at the title because they didn't come in and find the typical drama that they're used to?
No, they came in for the clickbait and got slapped right in the face for being the losers that they are chasing clickbait.
Oh, so they're the ones
Right.
that are leaving with their ass hurting instead of coming in.
And if you don't like what you're hearing and your ass hurts, then you got exactly the dose of medicine you fucking earned. Okay?
Yeah.
There's 124 people who apparently do not suffer from an achy ass. Okay? And that'll grow because 124 of us are going to remind all the other streamers, are going to post in their comments and let them know, cut the shit out, look for the boy, or change the fucking topic. Move the fuck on. Put a picture of fucking Sebastian on your screen and leave it at that. Shut the fuck up about the parents. Stop inciting the most vulnerable parent of all. Stop. You people are fucking tough guys. I mean, do you fucking think the boy is autistic and it just fucking happened out of the air? Or he took a fucking vaccine and it get... Man, I'll slap all of you for that fucking thinking. It comes to you from the genetic side of the family being the male. Period. End of fucking story. And you guys are out there using this guy, abusing this guy, encouraging this guy, feeding him fucking gasoline, and you think you're on his side and you're hurting the guy. You fucking morons. Please.
Yep. I don't disagree. And fucking,
and you're hurting the Proudfoot. You're limiting their fucking ability to be free to move around and even look for their kid. The last thing I would want to do is run into one of these fucking YouTubers. I'd knock you the fuck out, bro.
Well, in all fairness, I think it could be it could potentially be the miraculous moment if some of these cocksuckers ran into one of the people they're so willing to talk shit about through a keyboard and actually got to the opportunity to say it face to face and were forced to. I think it could be a miraculous moment where there might be some reform.
I think, listen, I think people can be good. I think all 5.62 billion people online can be good people. It's just that they have to be that. We have to act that way. You can't act like you act out here and claim to be a good fucking Christian, you fucking twit. I'm not even a religious guy. I have my own understanding of the universe and creation.
The belief system's pretty straightforward, right? Be a good fucking person.
How about these people that think they're critical thinkers? What kind of a critical thinker would be attacking the fucking hearts and fucking the souls of the people that lost their kid? How do you come up with being a critical thinker? I could talk shit about your mother. Is that critical thinking? Please.
Well, and how can you be a critical thinker in the vast majority of fucking I hate this guy echo chambers that exist? Because that's what everybody flocks to.
They love to hate. Fair enough.
That's fair enough. I can't watch a lot of these call-in shows because at the end of the day, I can watch 30 seconds of it, tune in 3 hours later, and hear the same 30 seconds with a different voice on the phone than I heard 2 hours prior because they're all saying the same shit.
Listen, I am not the person that's going to lead the fucking world out of its fucking tragic fucking situation. I'm the person that's going to point out the tragedy, and other more like-minded, decent, better delivery methods will be used. The viewers in this room. And some of those streamers that I've attacked have the capacity to rise above it all. And that's what needs to be done here. You need to leave these parents alone. And if that means you got nothing to say, then move on to another fucking case. And let those that have something to say that could encourage, comfort, or help, let those be the ones that lay behind with Sebastian. All you jerk off by the fucking millions need to find something else to do. Please.
Yeah, quit getting blinded by the dollar sign. This is to the creators, right? Quit getting blinded by the dollar signs and see the people that you're talking about instead of the money you're making talking about them. If you have any compassion at all, and you do that and you have any compassion at all, it might just be the awakening that you need to actually do some fucking good.
Yeah. And that's said very well. It's all about Sebastian. And that young man's name gets said less and less and less, and it's always Chris, Seth. I'm on this team, I'm on that team, and Katie. It's not necessary, and it's not something that can't change easily. Here's the funny thing. Is I am clearly not the guy to tell you guys what the moral high ground is. Just understand that. But here I am, okay, motherfuckers. Here I
am. The
right?
logic,
I come out in full name. I don't have a fucking fear for any of you. I don't need your motherfucking click. I don't need your fucking money. I live life intelligently. I would share it with you, but you people are too fucking stupid to hear. You can't even get off of doing what you're doing to the victims. And you're a lot of you are the same jerk offs that wouldn't let people discuss Dylan Morrison's actions in the Idaho 4 case. A person that was in the house before, during, and after. A person that was in the inner circle before, during, and after. A person that found the crime and reported it. If that fucking person was named John or Chris, you motherfuckers would have been all over him. But it was a blonde-haired fucking attractive girl. You better not fucking say anything about it. I don't understand the world, Cletus. Is it true? Is it possible that we've all been dumbed down to this level and we can't get out of it?
Well, we all flock to social media for an emotional retreat, right? It's an emotional outlet from the frustrations of the day. And I think there's a lot of the 5.62 billion that flock to it and take out their anger and frustration of the day on whatever the subject is in one of these true crime channels or political channels or whatever the fuck type of channel, right?
I just want to say that in fairness, listen, in fairness, okay, what should have happened is all of these streamers should have put up 3, 4, 5, 10% of the fucking click proceeds to purchase and offset the cost of fucking flyers. Yeah. Or do something. Put up a fucking billboard. Fucking do something, man. Be a solution solver, not a fucking drama-loving, hate-mongering witch hunter.
Well, and the shame of it is, right? Every fucking one of them is smart enough to operate YouTube and some type of streaming software. But none of so am I to assume that that's harder than just doing the right thing? That's more complicated than doing the right thing. Doing the right thing is so fucking elusive that it's more complicated than setting up a YouTube stream and talking for 5 fucking hours about the same bullshit.
Well, here's something too, and I can't be more clear. When someone says I'd love to see Seth employment history or lack of, I believe a lot can be learned. It's none of your fucking business, you drama queen. It's got nothing to do with nothing. What do you mean? What kind of people want to know that about other people?
Well,
I want to know that about somebody I'm falling in love with. I want to know that about somebody I'm going into business with. But to be very honest with you, this gentleman lost his child. I don't give a fuck where he worked, who he worked with, or how he performed. How does that got anything to do with the missing boy?
Here's the reality of it, right? And this goes back to the debate about the viewer or the creator. So I can completely agree with that statement, but I feel bad that I can completely agree with that statement. And I think about why do I agree with it if I feel bad about it? And at the end of the day, it's because I get caught up in the fucking bullshit drama about this as well.
Right. And I see it. And listen, I admit that I'm as flawed and failed as anybody else. Well, probably not the 5.62 billion on here, but the rest of the fucking world. Okay. I get caught up in the drama too. We talk about the drama off fucking screen, do we not, Cletus?
Yeah. Yeah.
We come up with some views and opinions, but we do not bring them out here because we're not here trying to create fucking drama. Right?
Right.
I don't give a fuck what Seth did, what he didn't do, where he worked, who he banged, who he licked, who he sniffed, who he kissed, who he banged. I don't know. I don't care. unless his fucking work history shows that it's connected to the missing child. If it doesn't show that and can't show that, it should not be discussed. Is that fair?
That's fair. And I mean, I would say this, right? Anybody that has an interest in knowing something that is public record, go look it up. If there is something that provides evidence in a situation that may not be known, submit that shit to the proper law enforcement authorities.
How about this? In the Donna Eyes case, anytime someone brought up that she was a drug addict, they got attacked and shut down. Mm-hmm. She's the victim here. I don't give a fuck if she's the victim. She could be self-victimized. You're a drug addict. Self-victimization happens constantly with that, right? Same thing with the guys up in fucking Kansas City. But no, you can't talk about that. Something that is not drama. Something that is pertinent to the woman's missing. She was a drug addict.
Well, the same thing.
That has every bit of place to be on the table to view the situation as more than anything else. The fact you're going to dig into the cop, you want to know the name of the fucking hospital worker that discharged her? You people are sick, man.
Well, the same thing applies with the concept of this channel, right? People self-victimize themselves to the addiction of the fucking drama on social media. Just give it, and the same thing applies there. Get fucking help or give it the fuck up. Realize what you're doing, right? Wake up to it and make the choice to no longer take part in it. Don't support these fucking people that are 100% going after the drama, or shake them. Get in their fucking chat and tell them, look, this isn't helping. Did we lose you?
I wonder if this person in here, Kate, if you understand satire and you understand that we actually got permission for this title. So I didn't put that up there, but just be fucking clear. This title was approved by people that it impacts. Before it was ever used. And the reason it was used was to get idiots up here that clickbait every fucking day to go attack Chris and inspire fucking Seth to attack Chris. That's the whole basis for why this title was put out there, was to attract more of you fucking people that'll buy into any fucking ridiculousness. Like YouTube is going to find Seth. YouTube can't even find morals and decency amongst themselves. They're not going to find the missing boy. Okay? And people on YouTube need to see that. Get some fucking morals, get some decency and dignity, and then you probably have enough of a human being to go out and do something positive for this kid instead of attacking the parents like what's been going on. It's just disgusting. And my title reflects exactly the type of title that you fucking losers flock to. Cletus?
Couldn't have said it better myself. Again, if you're coming in here with that title, it's for one of two things. Either your ass is hurting or you got a desire to leave with your ass hurting, because it was absolutely fucking targeted at that. The bullshit has to stop. It has to stop. People have got to remember that, especially in these cases with true crime, it is a true crime because there are actually people on the receiving end of what you're talking about. There are victims in this, and there's no need to get online and talk shit about, when they had kids, when they fucking didn't have kids, who was, like you said, who was fucking who wasn't fucking who, what neighbor said this, what neighbor said that. It's got to stop.
And there's people that have caused millions of man hours have been wasted. Let's be fucking honest here, people. Millions of fucking man hours have been wasted going after Chris and Katie. Yep. Setting fucking gasoline down for fucking Seth to set on fire. And the person that's his private investigator, my advice to him is, you put yourself distance between her like you did between the women you divorced. Your ass is on fire, run. Okay? Because all this woman's going to do is throw gasoline at you. That private investigator makes tits on a bull more sensible. Get rid of her.
Oh fuck!
It's absolutely sad. It's shocking, and I don't even know, Cletus. I'm so frustrated with it. And let me just say, folks, if you don't see the part of how my fucking Asperger's affects me, then you're fucking blind. Because I bit into this tiger and I've not let go since this has started with these fucking streamers and these fucking mainly you, the viewers, making targets out of the fucking parents, whichever parent you are. And you're solving the crime because this guy hit the kid with a fucking belt, or you're solving the crime because Seth didn't fucking fight stronger for custody, or you're this, or you're fucking wackadoodle is what you are. I like that word, don't you?
I do. That's yeah, that's one of my favorite fucking words, wackadoodle.
Fucking, and it's like this even worse. It's more personal here because this politics is bad. It's just like this. But they're not real everyday working fucking families that lost their kid. They're actually jerk offs that don't do their fucking job that cause kids to get fucking lost from families.
Well,
So
and
it's
what
a whole different fucking level of fucking bullshit. But
they
and
asked
here you're
for
talking about real people.
Yeah, in politics, those fucking cocksuckers asked for it. They
Well, they're
ran for
asking their
office for
job,
that shit.
right? Their
Yeah,
job. They're waving the Ukrainian flag in my house of Congress. I'm not fucking Ukrainian. You won't let us wave American flags, but you'll give away all my money and wave their flag. Talk about people that need a fucking slap. But anyway, but that's no different than these YouTubers. Here the kid's missing and they're attacking Chris and they're fucking encouraging Sebastian. And anybody that gets around this guy is encouraging him down that road. Now he's accusing the parents of Chris Proudfoot of taking the fucking boy. I mean, come on. And where does he get that from, Cletus?
uh,
Viewers?
that one's up for debate. But at the end of the day, and I'm not going to say where I personally feel like that came from on here, but I will say this: at the end of the day, when that statement was made and the confrontation was had about it, if the three people that are hosting this are 100% about what they say, which is finding Sebastian and helping the parents, they should have shut that fucking stream down right then instead of promoting and trying to mediate for the drama to continue in somewhat of a peaceful and civil way, because it was going to do fuck all in terms of good for helping find Sebastian.
Well, let me just say that I've seen very little of, so little of that when I say I haven't seen it at all, it's close enough to being true. Where are you motherfuckers asking these people how they're handling this? How are they getting through the day? How is their routine changed? Is there anything you can do? Are you all that fucking evil that you don't see these people as human beings that lost a child? You're that evil that you can't even you always give people the benefit of the doubt until they show you a reason not to. Always, folks, I've given them the benefit of the doubt to so many millions of dollars coming out of the hands of others to me. I've given everybody to amounts of money that I don't even want to say, where I won't take any of your fucking money until I'm done with my promise. I've never not been paid. And the reason I haven't not been paid is because most of you really deep down inside are good people. You're on the wrong fucking path. And you need a fucking asshole like me to point out to you, you're on the fucking wrong path. Who you really are is how you need to deal with this situations when a child goes missing. And if it turns out, God forbid, that the parent was involved, you walk away a better person. You literally walk away a better person. Instead, you want to walk away with, I knew it. I knew that bitch was no good. Right? Like you won something. And there's nothing to be fucking won here. Please.
Yeah. The only win in this situation is finding Sebastian. That's the only fucking win. And there is absolutely no stop along the way of that path or that road to finding him that involves the witch hunt on any of the parents.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I hope people are putting some likes. Get this thing up as many likes as you can. If we have 176 viewers, but 82 of them are in the YouTube. As one of the other guys spends time making sure he gets in the algorithm, I'd like to get in the algorithm with this particular stream as well, because this particular stream will probably give us more views than any of the other streams I've made, and it's based on a bullshit title to drag in you bullshit fucking viewers. Okay, Just understand that's why it says what it says. And the only place Sebastian Rogers can confidently be found are actually in the hearts of the parents. The parents that all you fucking users and creators have maintained, have done everything you can to keep them at odds with one another. And I don't care who started it. I don't care who said what or who farted or who burped. An adult wouldn't have allowed it to go the way it's been going for as long as it's been going. There are no adults among you 5.62 billion fucking twits. But guess what? I just volunteered for that job. About how many weeks ago, Cletus?
I guess we're going on 3 now.
So, yeah, my co-host Cletus, a man that literally asked for carrot cake for his birthday. There's just some things in life like dying by your taint that I'll never be able to forget. Things I just can't understand.
Yeah, I'm fucked up enough to want carrot cake for my birthday, but still be able to get on here and, a lot of times present undisputable fact. And you motherfuckers can't find morality amongst you.
What was the name of that lady's stream that played that bullshit with the parents last night?
Web sleuths.
Web sleuth. And she teaches how to be an online detective, does she not?
I have no idea. I've heard.
I think they do. I think that some of them people involved in that have got some fucking streams. But here's the thing. If that's online detecting, you people all need to learn how to fucking knit. You'd be better off. You'd be safer too, because you'd have knitting needles to protect your person with. In all ways, I could convince you you'd be way better off knitting than watching that fucking broad and her pals that had the family on last night.
Yeah, and I mean, the shit of it is I was in a stream when that went down, and there was somebody in that stream that was on panel as well that, from what I can tell, is genuine in their intent to help in missing kid situations. And they had spoken highly of or in favor of one of the people that was on that panel, right? And when it was all said and done, before I opened my mouth and gave the tongue lashing about that person, I apologized to the person that I was on the panel with for what I was about to say. And they themselves said, don't apologize to me. It is what it is, right? Because at the end of the day, these people that are on that panel that have fooled people into thinking that they are 100% about helping in these situations prove to the world if they will take their emotions out of the situation enough to view it for what it was and see that they're just as fucking bad as the T-Rebs and the fucking Smiley stories and the Terry Lynn's out there. They're just as fucking bad.
They play to the lowest denominator of people's fucking emotions. And they actually think they're going to solve crime. And they don't realize that even though we can talk, we're still observers, no different than if you sat in front of a fucking TV screen with a bowl of popcorn by yourself. That's about as much effect as you have. This gives you a different fucking reality in that, look what you're doing to these parents. Look what you're doing to these people. You've caused a husband and a wife to actually fucking leave their home and try to avoid people because they don't know if any of them people are going to be you people. You two fucking people. That to me is a tragedy within a tragedy.
I'll give a recommendation about this comment on the screen, right? I was a fan of Trisha, which I think is the lady's name that runs that channel, but was super disappointed last night. She was biased. It's not fair. So if you're a fan of this person, right, go tell that person I'm a fan, and what you did last night was bullshit, and you owe the community but fuck the community. You owe Sebastian and the parents a fucking apology for putting that show on and allowing it to continue, because you're the only one with the fucking button to stop it.
Listen, and the people need to all be telling Seth, get rid of this private investigator. Now, I could be wrong, but wasn't she the inspiration behind the newest accusation? Didn't she start that ball rolling?
About what was brought out last night, that accusation? Yeah. No, she was not.
Was she up there feeding into the nonsense about the
absolutely? Absolutely.
Then she needs to go. That woman is not helping Seth. She's helping hurt the man.
Right. She's helping her. That's what she's doing. That's what she proved last night. Now, if that's not her intent, then fucking right the wrong and move forward and own that wrong. Own that you got involved, you got wrapped up in the fucking drama of the moment, and then do the right thing. That's a respectable way of being. You fuck up, you own it, and you go forward with the commitment of not doing it again.
Right. Right. And there's other roads we can take that bring us all together and help. This hopefully this has a conclusion and it happens like before the stream is over. Then our title would be accurate. Except for the YouTubers helping. I mean, I said this last night. Well, I don't even want to get into that, but I said, I mean, you guys have put Chris in such a position that if, for God forbid, he went to the store and found Sebastian walking down the road, you people would burn his house down. You people are that fucked up. You've taken it that fucking far. You've taken it to the extreme. And you just can't get it out of your head. This guy's involved. And he's probably of the three, the least likely one. He was fucking dude was 3.5, 4 hours away. Confirmed at 5:15 a.m. Right, Cletus?
Yeah. And that fucking wackadoodle on fucking Smileys today was saying, well, that's suspicious. Why would you be at work 2 hours early? Well, I don't know, motherfucker. Why don't you go get a job doing what he does and find out firsthand? You want to be in true crime? Go fucking investigate.
Well,
Go get a job.
Why he was on the fucking job site early. No, I'll tell you why he was on the job site early. If you had any fucking common sense and understanding of construction, the guy may only have had an open window until 7 o'clock to move what he was going to move at 7 o'clock. You know, a crane is fucking highly susceptible to wind. You fucking twits. And you're not going to operate a crane. Don't give a fuck what your schedule is. You work based on the conditions. You're supposed to work 8 to 5, 7 to 4. You might go home at 10 in the fucking morning. Why? Wind, rain. You know, and this guy's got to explain himself because you don't got the fucking common sense to understand that there's a multiple of unfucking known reasons that are legitimate that would put him at work early. No, that means he fucking took Seth or Sebastian, you sick motherfucker. Cletus?
I love how you get all heated and then you go, Cletus.
I know, because I love passing it off that way.
It's like always difficult to follow up.
Give us the laugh. Your ass hurts news network has an official laugh.
That's right. I don't know.
I don't know.
You know, it goes back to my thing of demand better, right? I think there is. I do think there is a large portion of the community that saw that shit show last night and feels the same way about the fact that it was bullshit. I honestly think there are very few that don't think to some degree that it was bullshit. And I would absolutely suggest that if the people that are fans of the people that were up there feel that they are good people, go smack them in the forehead with your fucking index finger, flick them in the forehead, I mean, and let them know, hey, dumbass, you fucked up last night. You broke character from what we see and know of you and what you're capable of. You showed your ass. Do better. And do this with every YouTuber that you're a fan of. Flick them in the forehead and tell them to do better. Finding morals is not hard. It's harder to go against your morals. It's hard.
You got everything to lose, folks, by doing what you're doing. You've marginalized yourselves as an effective fucking important place to go. All right. Any other parent comes out here, I'm going to say to them, go watch what's going on with the Sebastian family or the Proudfoot family in the Sebastian Rogers case. Then decide whether you want to talk to any of these fucking YouTubers. Because they're going to find something else, something you did, some neighbor did, some kid did, somebody did, and they're going to flip that into the somehow tie it to your missing child.
I've only been involved in true crime for a year and a half, right? And I said the day that we started looking at this, and the comments were made, these people need to talk. These people need to talk to social media. These people need to talk to the news. I said there is no fucking way you would catch me on a camera or a YouTube channel talking, because the shit show that exists out here, because all people are waiting for is a villain they can label as, or somebody they can label as a villain, so they got a direction to point their fucking pitchforks.
Right.
You know, it literally
Look at
has
the
become that way, and it doesn't have to be that way. We can
Kansas
use
City
this.
3, they went after that HIV biologist.
Right. And at the end of the
The
day, it
guy that
doesn't have to
survived.
be that way. We can make the fucking choice to not do that.
I want to make this point, folks. The problem with doing what you're doing is you're seeking all this drama and all this victimhood, and you need to find a target. Is when that first happened, and I think Clue and Cletus will confirm this. If not right away, almost right away, I said fentanyl, and the one guy that was inside survived because he wasn't out in the cold. And in fact, it ended up being that. But I'm not showing you I'm a genius. I'm just showing you that I don't need to create a victim and drama and dig into where the guy works and who he dated, who he fucked, who he kissed, where he went shopping. I don't give a fuck.
Well, you're good at
It's not
separating
pertinent until it's pertinent.
You're good at separating the emotion from the logic. And that's
Right.
where I think we all fall short, right? Is we get emotionally invested in something instantly, and that's why we need to find a villain so fucking quickly. We need to find somebody to hate about this tragedy that's occurred. But what we don't realize is that when we do that, we give these fucking assholes out here that want to sit and beat down and capitalize on our emotions because we want a villain. It gives them the opportunity to create one and make money off of that instead of actually helping, focusing, and directing people in the direction they should go. They want us all to click on their bullshit titles, just like this one tonight, so that we come in and we fucking get mad and we pay them money to make us keep coming back for more.
Right. I'm just, I don't know what to say. I honestly am almost to the point of tired, but I'm going to keep throwing this shit back in the creators' faces and the viewers of those creators' faces until they cut it out. I don't give a fuck. You mean nothing to me because you provide no value to society. So how could I even place any value on people like that? I can't. And I understand in your own personal time with your own, even with people on the internet discussing your theories and your wonderment, your fucking, you suspect this or fine. But that's not what you bring out into the fucking public sphere and get people start fucking concentrating on it. The next thing you know, some stupid motherfucker is actually seeing reflections in fucking blacktop at night.
They invented asphalt
Fucking
mirrors.
night. and you people are like, oh, you guys are the fucking you're the epicenter of that. You fucking viewers provide people with the fucking tenacity to be that insane and publicly run with it. And then several thousand people follow up with it and start going into other channels and asking questions about it. Not with even thinking. How the fuck do you see a reflection at night in asphalt? Isn't asphalt black, Cletus?
It is.
Have you seen your reflection in black before, Cletus?
No.
So, wow. That's the tragedy of the internet. It goes from one fucking thing and then snowballs into a calamity. So a whole new tragedy, a whole new set of victims gets created. And I, for one, am just like that guy. Oh, he moved. He must have done something. He moved. The minute he knew YouTube had a hold of it and they were blaming him, that dude he couldn't get out of that house fast enough. I don't blame him. Please.
I would agree.
Do you remember that with the Kansas City 3?
Yeah.
Yeah, that dude fucking flew the coop as quick as he could. I would have too.
Yeah, he had some fucking sense. But you know what's really fucking funny about it, right? Everybody wants to jump on board of the witch hunt, but if the witch actually showed, nobody would show the fuck up. Yeah. Does that make sense? Because it's all about being a keyboard warrior, a keyboard witch hunter. And at the end of the day, again, if you're not gonna be about it, don't be about it.
Right.
If it is what it is. Because one thing that I think everybody should consider is when they're out here talking mad shit about victims or families, they just might be watching. They just might be chatting. They may be right there in the mix of you. And I've seen it firsthand where that lesson gets learned the hard way. Hell, I've been there.
One shot says you better live forever then, Sergeant, because that will never happen. YouTube hosts will never stop the clickbait. Ha, 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 ha. And, all we need to do is get 1 and then 2 and then 3. And before you know it, it catches on. I'm not the only person out here saying this or doing this, and I don't think Cletus is the only person. I think his wife does that as well. And other streams, even the streams we're calling out. I don't object to these people, changing their feathers and going about it the way that's fair and equitable to everybody involved, and not digging into the backgrounds of people to try to impugn their humanity so that you can accuse them of a crime. That's just unacceptable, man. That's just fucking so un-American. I don't even want to hear it. I mean, that's where people get put in gulags from rumors. If we lived in a different nation, you people would have this fucking guy Chris strung up on a pole by now. It's the most disgusting thing I've witnessed. And you did the same thing with Donna Imes. And I only been here since Idaho 4. You do the same thing in that case. You do the same thing with the Kansas City 3. You do the same thing with Sebastian Rogers. And I'm telling you, I know personally that you people are better than that. Cut it the fuck out. And if the people you enjoy or respect streaming are doing it, tell them to cut it the fuck out. And it's through word of mouth that things run. It isn't me having to teach everybody. Right?
That's right.
Yeah, and for people that just came in, that title was clickbait. For the losers that hit clickbait, drive the clickbait, promote the clickbait, view the clickbait. I wanted to put clickbait in here to get you assholes in here to remind you just what kind of assholes you are for following clickbait. Cletus?
You wanted to be the example of what a real asshole is true.
Well, your Ass Hurts News Network aims to please.
Well, and I'll say this to that last comment that was up. It said these YouTube clickbaiters are never going to change, right? Or something to that effect. And
right.
The only reason that will be the case is because the fish keep taking the fucking bait. Remember that you don't fucking like worms, and you won't fucking feed off of them, and they'll change their ways.
And like I said earlier in the stream with Seth, they're actually they're harming and taking advantage of this guy, and they think that that being on his team is helping the guy and giving the guy comfort, and it's not. You're hurting this guy, and to not see that makes you the most inept fucking human. The emotion, you think autism we have problems with emotions? You ain't got none. If you're on that fucking mentality level and you're playing that fucking game, you're on Seth's team and you're cheering him on when he's attacking Chris. You are a sick motherfucker if you're on that team.
Well, we are at our time, Sarge, and I smell dinner.
What do you have for dinner?
Chicken.
And that was that. He fell for that fucking trick again. Cletus has to be loved because he actually holds no resentment for being hung up on in the middle of a sentence. I don't know what other co-host on the internet would tolerate such bullshit, but there you have it, folks. I don't think anything about his job and his employment has anything to do with the missing child. And until you can make that connection, we don't talk about shit like that in here. I don't give a fuck. And I said that to you earlier, Carl. I don't care where the guy worked and how he did his job or who he worked and what he did. I don't give a fuck about any of that unless that job at the Pizza Shack or wherever the hell he was working is connected to the disappearance of the boy. If you can't make that direct connection, hold that fucking conversation until you can. Otherwise, keep it the fuck out of here. That's the whole point of this stream, is to point that shit out to people. None of these things connect directly to the disappearance of Seth, unless in your own fucking mind you dream up of a way for them to connect. And that's not how we're supposed to live amongst each other. I'm glad I did a Sunday stream. It's very rare. For most of you, I love you. For the other bunch of you, go fuck yourself. Clickbait loving motherfuckers. Good night.